Top Accolade Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohammed. North Korea has fired a suspected long-range ballistic missile off its eastern coast, according to officials in neighboring South Korea and Japan, with Tokyo lodging a stern protest over the launch. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said it had detected what was presumed to be a long-range ballistic missile fired from the Pyongyang area around 1 GMT. Japan's Coast Guard and Defense Ministry also detected the weapon, with Chief Cabinet Secretary Hirokazu Matsuno telling reporters it flew for about 74 minutes, reaching an altitude of 6,000 kilometers over a range of 1,000 kilometers in what would be the longest ever flight time for a North Korean missile. The Coast Guard said it fell into the sea east of the Korean peninsula. North Korea has stepped up its saber-rattling this week, with Kim Yo-jong, the powerful sister of leader Kim Jong-un, condemning a United States plan to deploy a nuclear missile submarine to waters near the Korean peninsula and threatening to shoot down spy planes after claiming US reconnaissance planes recently violated its airspace. Japan's Matsuno described the launch as a serious provocation in breach of United Nations sanctions and said a stern protest had been lodged through diplomatic channels in Beijing. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky meets NATO leaders on Wednesday after they declared his country's future lay inside the alliance but rebuffed his call for a timeline to membership. Zelensky will join the NATO leaders on the second day of their summit in Vilnius for an inaugural session of the NATO-Ukraine Council, a body established to upgrade relations between Kiev and the 31-member transatlantic military alliance. He will also meet separately with US President Joe Biden as he seeks more arms and ammunition and other NATO nations to fight the war triggered by Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February last year. The United States, Britain, France and Germany are expected to issue assurances to Kiev of long-term security support in the form of advanced weaponry, training and other military aid, possibly soon after the summit ends, according to officials. Other countries will then join this framework with their own bilateral commitments, officials say. At a rally in Vilnius on Tuesday, Zelensky expressed disappointment that NATO had not offered a timeline to membership, a prospect he had earlier branded absurd. A private Chinese company launched into orbit on Wednesday the world's first methane liquid oxygen rocket, beating US rivals in sending what would become the next generation of launch vehicles into space. The Zhok-2 carrier rocket blasted off at 9 a.m. local time from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in northwest China and completed its flight according to plan, state media reported. It was the second attempt by Beijing-based Landspace, one of the earliest firms in China's commercial launch sector, to launch the Zhok-2. A first attempt in December failed. Wednesday's launch puts China ahead of US rivals, including Elon Musk's SpaceX and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, in the race to launch carrier vehicles fueled by methane, which is deemed less polluting, safer, cheaper and a suitable propellant in a reusable rocket. Landspace also became the second private Chinese company to launch a liquid propellant rocket in April. Beijing Tianbing Technology successfully launched a kerosene oxygen rocket, taking another step towards developing rockets that can be refueled and reused. Hackers suspected of working for Russia's foreign intelligence agency targeted dozens of diplomats at embassies in Ukraine with a fake used car advert in a bid to break into their computers. According to a cybersecurity firm, the wide-reaching espionage activity targeted diplomats working in at least 22 of the roughly 80 foreign missions in Ukraine's capital. Kiev analysts at the Palo Alto Network's Unit 42 Research Division said in the report, due to be published later on Wednesday, the Polish diplomat, who declined to be identified, citing security concerns, confirmed the role of his advertisement in the digital intrusion. The hackers, known as Apt29 or Cozy Bear, intercepted and copied that flyer, embedded it with malicious software, then sent it to dozens of other foreign diplomats working in Kiev, Unit 42 said. In 2021, US and British intelligence agencies identified Apt29 as an arm of Russia's Foreign Intelligence Service, the SVR. The SVR did not respond to a request from newsmen for comment about the hacking campaign. Thailand's electoral authority has asked the country's constitutional court to disqualify the leader of the youth-led Progressive Party that won the most seats in recently held general elections. The referral of the case against Peter Limjaroenrat, who heads the Move Forward Party, came on Wednesday a day before Thailand's bicameral parliament is scheduled to vote on the 42-year-old businessman's bid to become the next prime minister of the country. Peter has the backing of 8 parties in an alliance seeking to form a new government, but he has faced a number of complaints since his party's election victory, which stunned Thailand's royalist military elite. And last month, the country's election commission set up a special committee to investigate whether he was qualified to run for office. It confirmed they will submit their findings to the Constitutional Court for further consideration. The commission has been investigating whether Peter was unfit to register as a parliamentary candidate and was aware of it because of his ownership of shares in a media firm which is prohibited under election rules. That is the size of top accurate global news update. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy midweek.